Hey, it's Cobra here at MaddenGuides.com, and for this Madden Strategies video breakdown, I want to take a look at attacking cover 4 bench passing concept. And what this breakdown is going to be about is showing you how the bench passing concept can be effective against cover 4, and really just kind of going into the film room and really looking at how it works. And so that guys give you guys an idea, especially you guys who play in online franchise leagues or connected franchise leagues, and you know your opponent likes to run a lot of cover 4. This might be a play or a passing concept that you like to go ahead and attack him because you know he likes to run it. So that's what I want to get into, and I want to show you what happens versus different types of cover 4 so you guys kind of get an idea of what to look for if you decide to run this passing concept. So let's go ahead and take a look at the play that we're going to use on the offensive side of the ball to go ahead and show you how this might be a passing concept that you might want to use, again, to attack cover 4. So as you look at it, we're going to use this out of the Buffalo Bills playbook as you're looking at your screen right there. And the formation that we're going to use is out of the gun-tight slots. And, of course, the name of the play, as I've already mentioned, is called bench. And you'll find this out of the Bills playbook. Now, as you look over here towards your right here, you're going to notice this is a form of the smash concept. And as a lot of you guys know, the smash concept is pretty popular, especially as far as attacking zone coverages. And this is what this particular passing concept does. The one that gives it probably the biggest fits that you'll probably find is cover 2 sink. That one seems to give it a little bit of fit as far as finding the open receiver for the most part, especially on the out or the corner route. So that's what I want to mention there, but we're not going to focus in on that particular coverage. I want to get into the cover 4, and that's what we're going to go ahead and focus in on. On the defensive side of the ball, we're going to come out in the dime 1-4-6. That's what we're going to start off with. And I think we're just going to go into a quarters coverage here, which is the cover 4 coverage that you'll find in this particular formation. Let's see if I just passed it up probably already. And there it is. So let's run cover 4 drop. So we're going to run the cover 4 drop initially. And again, this is out of the dime 1-4-6. This is out of the Patriots playbook. So let's go ahead and get on the screen here. And the only couple things I want to show right off the bat before we actually run the play, it's just show you the pass routes real quick. And you'll notice these are mirror pass routes, meaning on both sides of the fields you have the receivers running the exact same routes. The only difference is between them is this. As you look at it, I'm going to go ahead and highlight them real quick for you so you can just see them. You probably already noticed it yourself. The inside receiver on the left is running a corner route, and so is the one on the right. The difference is that the one on the left runs about a 10 to 12-yard corner route, and then the one on the right runs probably about a 15 to 17-yard corner route. Now, one of the things I do want to point out, and we'll talk about that, I'll show you this kind of as an extra thing at the end, is that if you smart route the one on the right, you can actually shorten up that route so he's not running that deep of a corner route if you don't want him to. So I want to go ahead and point that out to you as well. Like I said on the coverages, let's just look at it briefly here, and you can see it's cover 4 as you look at your screen. The main thing I want to point out here is that you have, of course, you have the 4 defenders that are playing, as you look at your screen, are playing these coverages right here as you look. So they're playing cover 4. So they're playing the 4 quarters. And then you got these 2 defenders that, as you look at your screen, they're playing these seam flats. So you got this guy going out here towards the right, or excuse me, towards the left of your screen, and you got this guy right here. He's going out towards the, as you look at it, going out towards the right side of your screen. All right, so what I want to do is I want to go ahead and run this, and then we'll get into the instant replay and take a look a little bit more in depth of it. So I just want to show you, most of the time the receiver that you're going to find open against cover 4 is going to be the one on the left. I realize that guy kind of came up there in that seam flat, but let's just show you again here. That's usually the guy you're going to hit against that particular coverage. And the reason for that is that with these defenders here dropping back in a quarter, so you got this defender right here. Let's go ahead and clean that out there. You've got this defender, as I pointed out earlier, playing the cover 4. And these 2 guys right here particularly, they're going to take away that deep corner route. You're not going to find that against this particular coverage in most cases, and I'm going to show you an exception to that rule here in just a bit. But most of the time, if you see cover 4, you really should be looking to throw to one of these receivers on the outside. And all you're hoping for is that once they break to the outside, such as this one right here, you're hoping that this defender doesn't get out there fast enough to make a break on it. And that's the key to this. And as long as that doesn't happen, you can do it. I want to go to the other side here. Now, one of the things you would have noticed right there on that one, that safety broke on that, or not that safety, but that defensive back broke on that really, really quick. Let's go look at it again. And so with that, you're not going to be able to make that throw. If you see that where he breaks in on it, then you're not going to be able to make that throw. So you got to watch for that too as well against cover 4 coverage. That's the other thing. So let's go back to the other side. Again, that guy doesn't break on as fast. So if you look and go back between the two of them, watch that defender playing that curl flat, because if he breaks on it, he's probably going to pick it off. So that's something you got to watch for when you run this. I'm going to go ahead and try to throw to one of the deeper receivers. I just want to show you what happens when you try to throw to one of the deeper receivers. It's basically impossible against cover 4 coverage as far as that goes. So that's more likely what's going to happen. Now, with that said, let's go and look at another cover 4 that you'll find in the game. And this is where we get into the more deeper look at the coverages of what cover 4 does against this. For example, another very popular cover 4 defense that you'll find a lot of players like to run is this defense here, which is called cover 4 palms. And I want to go ahead and show you something that's interesting as you run through this that you're going to find. It might, kind of change your outlook on this as far as the way this play works, at least against this particular coverage, against cover 4 palms. All right, so we've already talked about how this receiver right here breaks to the out, and against a lot of the cover 4 coverages, as long as that defender doesn't break on it, then he should be open. But watch what happens when I run the play this time against cover 4 palms, at least on this side of the ball. I'm going to go ahead and throw to him. A lot of times you're going to find that against some of the cover 4 palm coverages, let's go back and look at another defense, actually. Let's see what it does. A lot of the cover 4 palms, you may end up finding where a defender jumps. The outside defender that's playing that deep 1/4, he may jump the route as well. Let's go back in here and try this again, see what happens here. Out of dime 236. And see what kind of results that we get out of here. Let's run this one more time here and see what happens here. There it goes right there. That might happen right there where he tries to jump the route, even though I was able to complete it. If you see that, where you see this defender right here, rather than him dropping back like he's supposed to, instead he comes over here, then that's when you can go deep and you can look for that corner route against cover 4. And that's really what I wanted to point out here. Hopefully you can still get it in there. But that's where you'd want to look at when you see that. I'm going to do it one more time because that route's usually open against this particular coverage. There it goes. And then you can make that throw. So if you see that corner go up and cover that out route, then you can probably find the deeper route against cover 4 palms. Now, I'm not saying that works on every single one of them, but in general, against the palms, it does work more often than not where you'll see that. If we go into instant replay, the other thing I want to point out, but watch the difference from the left side of the field towards the right side of the field. So let's go ahead and focus in on this side of the ball, and let's kind of focus in on this corner right here. Now, this is palms again. Now, watch what he does. He drops back like he's supposed to. And if that happens, then obviously you can't make that throw deep down the field because you're back to what the cover 4 quarters would be, where this defender here is dropping back and this defender here is dropping back. And that means that this route right here, that corner route, to be honest with you, isn't going to be open where you can make that throw. So you're not going to have an opportunity to make that throw there deep down the field. So just keep that in mind. That's not going to be there. So what you'd have to do here, assuming that you can get the ball over there, is make the throw over here to this receiver here into that area there where you can throw the out route to that guy. So you got a lot to watch when running against cover 4 coverages, because things can change drastically depending on what how the defense reacts to it. Let's go run one more time against this, and then I'll get out of this breakdown. And just hopefully this will give you guys a kind of a look at how the bench works against cover 4. It all depends on what the coverage is. Let's go into a quarter one this time. Out of the 1-3-7, I'm going to go ahead and run against two of the coverages, or at least one. We'll run against the cover 4 drop. Let's go and run again against cover 4 drop. So let's just go ahead and run here. And again, you're going to get that out route where you can make that throw to the outside there as you look at it. That's generally who you're going to throw to. Let's go ahead and look to throw deep here. And then again, it's going to be very hard to make that throw because there's just too many defenders. And we'll go ahead and look to the right side this time and make those couple other throws so I can show them to you real quick. Again, that corner, you got to watch that corner because if he gets in front, that's not going to be open. That's what happened again there. So as you can see, it all depends on if that corner jumps that route on that side of the field. And the same thing, if you go deep, it's going to be the same results as I talked about earlier. It's probably going to get jumped right there. So you got to watch that when you run this play against cover 4, because it may not always be there, especially in those deep routes. Those deep routes aren't going to be there against cover 4 unless it's palms. If something like that happens, simply just drop it underneath to the running back coming out of the backfield. That's probably the safest thing, or take off and run. The last thing I want to show you with this particular breakdown is this receiver I mentioned earlier. This is going to be that receiver on the right in the slot right here. If you want to, if you decide to go ahead and do this, you can go ahead and smart route him, and then that'll change his route where it's shorter, as you see on your screen. Now, guys, I don't want you guys thinking that this concept doesn't work against cover 4, because it does. Just know that you may not get a big play out of it. You're going to have to go ahead and look to go ahead and throw underneath to one of those out routes, and hopefully they don't jump it. But I will tell you, cover 3 just does a really nice job as far as attacking cover 3, and maybe another breakdown we'll talk about that. So again, hopefully this breakdown will give you a little bit of insight to the bench concept and how it works against cover 4. As I said before, against the drop, it works pretty good. As far as the outs, you got to watch for the out receivers when they break. Make sure that the defender who's covering the seam flats doesn't take that away. If he does, you can't make the throw. You have to check it down to the running back. Don't even think about going deep unless it's cover 4 palms. And if it is, then you want to look to the left slot receiver, depending on if that corner on the outside actually breaks on the out route. If he does, then you'll have that deep pass down the left side of the field on a corner route. Just make sure you throw it hard left at the 9 o'clock position. All right, guys, that's it for this breakdown. It's called Attacking Cover 4 Bench Passing Concept. Hey Madden gamers, if you enjoy this Madden video or any other video, please subscribe to the Madden Guides YouTube channel. And as always, thanks for watching and for your support.